Hello, Stewart families. This is your principal, Audra Goodman, coming to you with this week's Star Review. Now, I'm sure I've told you in the past that I was raised by my grandparents, but today I want to talk a little bit about my grandfather, who to me was just my dad. He raised me as his own and was an incredible man and the only father that I've ever known. And a huge part of who he was is that he was in the military. He had ran away from home when he was pretty young. He ended up joining the military when he was only 15 years old. He went on to serve in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. Now, growing up, he loved to talk about his fun adventures in the military. He loved the military. He never talked about anything sad or devastating, though. However, now that I'm an adult looking back, I look back at all of the health issues he had as a result of being in the military. I looked at some of the ways he acted and behaved, and he definitely had some emotional tolls and impacts on him. In the end, it was a huge sacrifice, but he did it with pride, and he did it because he believed in our country and wanted to protect and to serve. So because of this, I've always cared deeply that students recognize the enormity of veteran sacrifice and understand the history of the military. So on Friday, November 7th, our Stewart Stars gathered for a Veterans Day assembly to honor service and the sacrifice of the military community. We are deeply, deeply grateful to all of our veterans, all of our active duty military, especially all the military families, because we have quite a few that are part of our own Stewart community. And on Tuesday, we'll recognize Veterans Day by having a day off and having no school. We've been talking last week to your students about some Veterans Day knowledge and some military knowledge, but tomorrow in morning meeting, we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. I'd like them to think of it not as a day off, but as a day on. A day on means that in order for us to express our gratitude, to really take the day seriously, to really honor and celebrate those veterans that came before us, was to do something at home to celebrate that day and celebrate their service. And the best way to do it, and you could do it as a family, is to do some type of act of service. It could be very, very small. It could be making thank you cards for veterans that delivered to a local organization. You could just pick up litter on your street or a nearby park. You could have your kids go through their stuff, maybe pick out a few gently used toys or books to donate. Or it could be baking and preparing a meal or a treat for a neighbor who could maybe use a little pick-me-up. Do a family service hour where you set a timer and everybody completes a job around the house. Or you just sit down and talk about gratitude and why you appreciate each other. You could look at a flag and talk about what it symbolizes. You could just ask your kids what they've learned about Veterans Day over the last week. Any of those things would be amazing and really, really give respect and homage to what the day on means. All right, our star parent support tip. We want to give you some tips to help your child with math. I know math is a sore subject amongst all of the mom friends I know as we try to support our kids, and I'm sure it is with you too, but it doesn't have to be. So you can help your child visualize fractions by doing things like folding napkins into halves or quarters, or if you're using paper napkins, you can have them label it with a marker. When you're at the grocery store, explain how fruits and vegetables are sold by weight. Have your child weigh them, just practice things like that. Maybe even have them estimate, guess how much it's gonna weigh once you put it on the scale. You can have them calculate how much gas you're using in your car or how much money you'll spend on gas and groceries and just kind of make it fun. I know my kids are always interested in what I spend on things. Bake or cook with your child is a really great and easy way because they have to measure things out. There's lots of everyday ways to incorporate math into your life. Just having that conversation is going to make the learning at school so much more effective for them and get them used to talking about math discourse and using math in an everyday life. It makes it more meaningful when they go to learn it at school. All right, we have some important dates coming up. The first one is Tuesday. Don't come, we won't be there. That will be our Veterans Day recognition. So I hope you spend it doing some act of service, something to celebrate that day. On Wednesday, the 12th, it is Picture Retake Day. Not everybody gets picture retakes. You would have to request and make sure that your child knows to get those. Looking ahead on Thursday on the 20th, for those of you that need to take the day off to make this work if you want to, it is Star Giving. This is where you can come to your child's lunch. 12 o'clock is K1, 12:30 is 2nd through 4th grade, and 1 o'clock is 5th through 6th grade. You bring a lunch with you. It can be from home. You can pick something up, whatever works for you, and you can have a special lunch with your child. And then on Thursday, the 25th, will be our Purposeful People Assembly. This is only if your child is receiving a Purposeful People Award, just for space. And throughout the year, we always notify those parents of the kiddos that are receiving that character trait award. The K2 assembly is at 10 a.m. 3rd through 6th is at 10:40. And then, of course, mark your calendars. Thanksgiving is coming. Thanksgiving break will be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11/26, 7th, and 8th will be no school for Thanksgiving break. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. And remember, at Stewart, stars always rise.